In this episode, we're talking about all the latest indie games from the first couple weeks of January 2026, which feels very weird to say. This and more on Indie Game Arcade. Welcome back to Indie Game Arcade, a podcast that deep dives into the latest and greatest indie games. I'm your resolute noob of the new year. My name's Chris.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
resolute noob of the new year.
Yeah.
Okay.
I felt pretty proud of that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I did pat myself on the back for that one.
I'm patting you on the back from afar. Virtual pat on the back.
Thank you.
I'm your shell swapping Mac Menace, Joseph.
Okay.
That'll make a lot more sense in a minute.
Yeah, that'll make more sense in a second. Hey, we are back with so many games. We have so many games to talk about. So I'm not sure how we're gonna pace this episode, but we're gonna have to be so vigilant, so incredibly vigilant as we talk about this one. But I want to start real quick and just get into it with this game that has been on my radar for a while, and I think I talked about it briefly during one of the Steam Next Fest events, one of the 50 that happened last year, because it feels like there's one every minute of the year at this point. In fact, there's probably going to be one next week. I don't think that's true.
Are they quarterly or are they
think?
Maybe,
I feel like they're quarterly.
Because I know we experienced at least 3 or 4 last year, or we participated in those.
For me, I'm it would make sense if they're quarterly, but I can only recall 3 last year. But then again, neither of us are known very well for our memory. So
yeah. So there very well could have been a Q1 one that we just skipped altogether. Yeah.
And hey, man, there could have been more than that we completely forgot about.
People are there's 12. It's what? There's one every month?
Yeah. You guys we just missed the ball, didn't we? We completely dropped it.
Maybe this year. Maybe next year.
Let's talk about Big Hops.
Game start!
Big Hops was developed and published by Lookshot Games, released on January 12th, 2026. It's going to be hard to get used to saying 2026. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Actually, I am ready. Screw 2025 for every reason except it being a great year for indie games.
I'm just grateful that Excel autocorrects my dates that I put in automatically. I don't have to worry about it. And I'm using Excel all the time, so it's
very
cool.
smart.
It's 2026. I'm prepped.
There you go. This is a whimsical 3D action-adventure platforming starring Hop, a friendly frog kidnapped by a trickster spirit. To get home, you gotta traverse vast worlds, collect parts to rebuild an airship, and uncover why you were taken in the first place. You played this one as well this time, right?
I did, because this is one that I, too, have had my eyes on, just because it looks so cute. I love frogs, and platformers, when done right, are some of my favorite classic genres to play.
Yeah, this one has some real big Nintendo 3D platformer mascot energy to it.
Totally.
I love that. Because I feel like that's just something that we haven't had much of for a very long time. We'll get some every once in a while. I feel like the last big one that I can remember that really made me feel the way I felt playing this one was A Hat in Time. And reading information about this one too, they do even source Hat in Time as one of their inspirations, along with many of the 3D Mario games, like Mario 64, Mario Galaxy, and I think very specifically Mario Sunshine, which is one of the few Mario games I never touched, so I can't really make that distinction. Maybe you can, but I have no idea.
No, I don't think. Wait, which one was that one? Was that the one where
He's got the little backpack. He's got to spray stuff with water or something.
No, I never played that one either. Then
Okay,
I was
nobody
thinking
did.
the
No,
last
I'm
like
kidding.
mascot-ish one that I was thinking of was like ukulele. I know like
yeah.
that one was initially like poorly received for some reason. I never played it, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I just like the way it looked because it's a bat and a chameleon, and I love those kind of animals. But also like it got a re-release recently, like a remaster kind of
Yeah,
thing.
literally just like 2 months ago.
Yeah,
If
which I
that.
also didn't play, but I just am familiar with the way those characters look.
Right, yeah.
So that comes to mind when I think of it. But this one, I was grateful that they didn't lean on the having a partner part of it. Like they didn't lean on the Banjo-Kazooie of it all. They just let Hops be his own character.
And it was just so delightful, and especially like just the exploration of it all was very, very fun. The mechanics are extremely fun.
It's so smooth.
And there's so much. You know, you're climbing, you got your big like spring hop that you have your dive, your rolling jump, your wall ride, of course the tongue where you can grapple and collect items.
It's all
you can,
tongue.
yeah,
it's all tongue,
tongue,
man.
all tongue all the time. Well,
I love, that little dive is so satisfying because you can get such good runs and slides in as you dive.
it's like that Fall Guys dive, you know, from
But
back in
better
the day.
because it's so smooth.
Yeah.
And it's like I didn't read up on this at all before I played it. So I won't even spoil like what happens like early on. I mean, the trickster part comes into play, but I didn't know about that. So I was like, oh, this is going to be kind of a cozy thing. And then the whole world got like turned upside down on me. I was like, oh my God, what happened?
Yes.
So that was such a fun surprise for me.
Oh man, it was so cool.
And it happened so early on. So I don't feel like I'm spoiling anything really, but it's
No.
just like, the way I will say, just the way that they dealt with the like platforming of it all and how everything was kind of twisting around was so well done. I don't know how to describe it exactly, but like everything just kind of goes topsy-turvy, and it's interesting how they played with those mechanics in a way that it actually worked. I could see people maybe getting a little dizzy off of it by some of the ways that it was kind of spinning around, but I'm not prone to that kind of thing motion sickness wise, so it was fun for me.
The only negative review I've seen thus far, like literally only one, that was the reason, was because
Really?
they got motion sick in that specific part. And I don't know if maybe that could be fixed by adding an option to zoom that camera out more. I think that
Maybe.
would probably do it because you are, like, admittedly, you are pulled in pretty tight with that point of view as you're flipping around, swinging from your tongue. In this particular part that we're talking about, that we're trying to be very vague about, gravity is just kind of thrown out the window in different ways. So
Yeah.
it's really interesting. But man, it is so fun. It was
I appreciate
incredibly fun.
like the light-ish puzzle aspect of it. Maybe it gets more complex, and I do see that there was like a challenge kind of mode. I didn't play any of those levels, but like I assume they have to do a lot more with like the placement of like the mushrooms you're bouncing off of, or the vines you're planting down. It was kind of cool just being able to like solve those in a way where it's like there's no set way you have to do it, but you can find some creative ways to sort of like solve these puzzles as you go around.
The whole thing was so vibrant, so playful. You're doing a lot of collecting. You're collecting bugs and gadgets that will give you abilities. There's going to be mixtapes that you can collect to change up the soundtrack. Outfits and hats. You collect flower petals that you can dye your clothes.
Is the drip thing the outfits part of it?
No, so the dark drip is
Yeah.
something that the trickster guy is sending you out to get, and that's part of like his whole mystery thing.
Oh,
So you're
okay.
not
See,
sure what that is about.
I didn't know if it was
But
like drip in the sense that it's like, oh, cool, I've got some new drip, got some cool clothes.
Now that you say that, though, I'm going to be like, hey, man, check out my dark drip. Like, anytime I wear dark colors, which is pretty much all the time because, like, for whatever reason, I wear nothing but, like, the most muted of palettes. Check out my dark drip.
Check out my dark drip.
Yeah, so drippy with darkness. It's just a fantastic game, man. I'm so excited for this developer. I've been kind of following the progress on this for quite a while, so
This is one I will definitely be playing when it actually comes out, which is on, well, by the time you're hearing this, listener, it will be out. on the 12th.
It is out. Yeah. So go check it out. It's big hops. Why don't you pick one to talk about next?
Okay. The one I want to talk about is more of a heads up to anybody who might be interested in this. And
this is your dark diss.
This is my dark diss, the opposite of dark drip, apparently. Yeah. You know, you see those games on Steam where you're like, people are complaining about, technical issues. Like, my PC can't run it, or, it's frame drops everywhere. I don't really experience a lot of that in a lot of the games that I play. Not to the point where it's like being game breaking. This is the first time in a very long time, if not the first time ever for me, that I've run into a game where it's unplayable in areas because of how buggy it is.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm running on an RTX 4090 and like with the brand new setup and everything. Like I just rebuilt my PC and I'm getting frame drops in this game that's doesn't even look like it's topping out my GPU or anything. Maybe it's like a CPU thing that it's hitting, but other people are having the same issue. Sorry, the game is Death Machine, by the way.
We're just going to hold that till the very end, just to keep you engaged. Hey, if I've learned anything from like TikTok and Shorts, you don't tell anyone the name of what you're talking about till the very last second. So you did it right.
Then. So the developer and publisher of this is Philip Froelich. And I don't want to like diss this game entirely because it seems like it was
That's what you're saying.
Yeah, he lives at this address. No, he seems like he's a solo dev and everything, and this has been in development for a while. But the problem that I'm running into seems to be what I'm seeing a lot of other people running into, where it's just got a lot of bugs where it's got such like massive frame drops that like it is kind of unplayable in certain areas. And people are assuming it's because of like the fog that's added around because it's got like a really cool look to it. It's looks good. It's a roguelike, Souls-like Metroidvania game, which are all things I love. So yes, I should like this game. And I think if it ran well, I would love it because I've tried to play it for a couple hours and it's just like every single time I'll hit something will happen where there was one time I got stuck entirely and couldn't even move anymore. So I just had to like exit out of the game to the main menu and come back into it, which, wipes your save. And then there was one time where I was invincible for a while, which was cool. But
interesting.
Then every time I would approach a group of enemies, it would do this thing where it would be like, the camera would be like, warping all over the screen, like I was just like bumping into something and just making the noise just like bzzz, as I was like bouncing off of things as I was trying to dash through stuff. So I was like, okay, well, I'm invincible, so this is kind of cool. But then my invincibility went away and I just ended up dying on the boss after that. And it's been like such like a mixed bag of different bugs that are happening. If it was like one specific one, I'd be like, okay, well, maybe like that'll be only an every once in a while thing. It's fine. Games crash, whatever. This one is just like all kinds of different things pop up all the time. And so my talking about this is to say that, did I have fun with it? Yes, when I could play it. Is it something that I would recommend people pick up? Not right now. Definitely not. What I would do is like wait for some patches. Wait until you see patches come out that say that it is fixed and you see some more positive reviews pop up. Because right now there's 9 reviews and I think 8 of them are negative. And one of them was positive because this person got it for free. And I was like, yeah, it's pretty cool. And I just don't want you to waste your money on a game that's not going to work. I think it could be a good game once it is fixed up. It's just not playable in its state right now for most people, I would think. So it's weird to me that it just got released in this state, unless it was just kind of a rush job or they just wanted to get it out. But I don't think that you should pick it up right now, but could be worth at least following to check in on it.
I see a few updates and stuff that have gone through. So I'm hoping those will continue and then they'll, keep trying to fix everything. So
yeah, I saw some patches come in yesterday and today. None of them addressed any of the issues that
none of the big issues,
had,
right? Yeah,
but here we are.
Yeah, here we are. Hate to see it, especially for a solo dev. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, conceptually and visually, this is so cool.
It does look great.
it's just fix it up, man, and I will absolutely like retract my statements and just speak very highly of this game if it was actually working well.
Yeah. Let's talk about one that another one that we both played that
does work.
I think worked pretty well. Well, I'll see what you have to say. I want to talk about Cassette Boy.
Yeah.
This was developed by Wonderland Kazariki and published by Pocket Pair Publishing. And this is a puzzle action RPG where the world exists only when you see it. That'll make more sense as I talk about it. But picture Link's Awakening meets Fez. That's the best way I can describe it. That's kind of how it looks like as far as like kind of like old school Game Boy in a way, but a little bit more, slightly leaning
like
more voxel in a way.
Yeah.
Like it's not, I don't know how to describe it. Like it's not totally voxel, but it does lean that way in a isometric kind of way. But
and in like a Game Boy color palette.
And it's just got a very interesting look to it. And I think what I really appreciate about this is like you're going through it like right off the bat, like a little bit of vibes of like starting out in like classic Pokemon in a like small town, like walking out, just trying to figure out like, you know, who you are in this world, like establishing yourself and what you're supposed to be doing. And then you get into like the world of, okay, well, I'm going to go out on, you know, this kind of like adventure, this sort of dungeon crawl thing. I get this sword out in the woods, you know, very homage to like the Zelda franchise and stuff. And then all of a sudden you get this pair of like magical like headphones that then changes everything. It changes your perspective. So you can then rotate the perspective of like the entire environment around the entire map.
Imagine if you could rotate like classic Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue, things like that, where it is that sort of top-down 3/4 view, but instead of everything being invisible or hidden if it's behind a building, you can rotate around and see behind that building. But the thing about it is like the way that they pitch it initially, like very first scene of the game is telling you like, hey, when you can't see something in this world, it's gone. Like if it's out of sight, it's not out of mind. It's just gone, period. That's going to be something you have to remember and use in every like puzzle that you are kind of solving, at least early on in the ones from the demo. And I didn't get to play that much of it. I played for maybe like 30 minutes or so. But even in that time, I was able to experience a lot of that and kind of see what they were kind of throwing at me and like get a good feel for what I think the game's going to be like.
It's so interesting. And I love that idea that, you know, like there's an enemy blocking your way from being able to get through a gate, an enemy that you can't kill. So you rotate the map to a perspective where the enemy is not in view, and then you can literally just walk through it because that enemy no longer exists. Yep. And that is so crazy.
Same with buttons too. Like if there's a button that you need to push or something, then you don't have to, well, like gates or whatever, then if you just rotate your camera to where it's invisible, you just walk right through. Like you don't have to worry about it. That's such an interesting conceit that is like, I would have never thought that it would be something you could like design a game around. But so the concept alone is like a big draw of this for me.
Yeah.
How it is going to play ultimately when it's fully released on the 9th, which is, well, tomorrow as of when we're recording this, but it's already out for you guys again. I assume it's going to be well received. It seems like a game that people can kind of like jump on and just be, have a lot of fun with just based on the conceit of it alone. So I don't know. This one is still like a TBD for me, but you played more of it than I did. What do you think?
The one thing that I'm the most interested in is to see more of the boss fights. Like I did the one. I don't know did you do that one?
No, I did not get to a boss. Yeah.
So I did do one boss fight, and that was just really interesting in that in the area where I did it, there was like a large wall, and it wasn't a case of you rotate around and then the boss is just gone, like, defeated or something. You still have to defeat the boss. So I like that about it, that it didn't kind of, I was a little bit worried that there might be a little bit of a cop out in that way, but that wasn't what they did. It was more like a pause in a way. Like the boss wasn't there for that moment of time, but you still have to beat that boss. So it's just like you get almost like a small reprieve if you are able to get that boss behind the wall and rotate. So then you can kind of get away a little bit because that boss is constantly like trying to get on you and damage you. So then you rotate again and then the boss will come back and you can be like across the map. So,
yeah, that's interesting. And
yeah.
I like how it could even and probably will play with perspectives on things too, of like, this looks higher than you could reach, but if you rotate it, then it's like on your same level and things like that, which I think are just really cool things to play around with. So, yeah, I'm excited to try this one out further.
Yeah, I had an instance like that too, where I felt kind of stuck on something, this like stairway or something that I think that's what it was. I felt like I couldn't get to or something. And I rotated around and I'm like, wait, if I rotated a certain way, you can't really see this stairway. And it almost looks like I could just walk to the door. And that is 100% what I was supposed to do. I was like, oh, okay, well,
yeah,
that solves
skip
it.
the stairway
I'll just
altogether.
go. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that was like you were talking about earlier with the enemy that you wouldn't be able to beat yet, like that giant goblin thing or giant blob or whatever it was. Like just rotate the camera, it's missing or it's gone. So it's like, okay, cool, I'm just going to walk right through the door he was blocking off.
Yeah, I love that.
Really cool idea.
I love games that really make you think and change like the genre like that. So very intelligent for sure. Like smart dev working on this one. So appreciate that.
I do wonder if there will be any sort of like, if this is going to get big enough to where it like inspires this sort of mechanic in future games in some way. Like if there's going to be like Cassette Boy likes in the future.
That would be interesting. Because I would almost call this like a combat Fez like in a way, you know?
Yeah. And I'm curious to see like how that like almost dragon warrior like guy plays into everything, or if he's just going to be one of those dudes who's just in the background the whole time.
Just hanging out.
Yeah.
He's always there. Like
he's the hero of Eternia or whatever. Not Eternia, but whatever he said.
This is the one hero that's always there. And he's like, I'm the hero. I got to get the sword. And then you take the sword. And he's like, dang.
Yeah, because he can't rotate the camera like you can, so he couldn't reach the sword. Yeah, but that's
can. Such a good. I love that humor. It's very really smart game for sure.
Yeah.
Power up.
Hey, if you're enjoying this episode so far, do us a favor and throw us a like, a follow, share the episode of the podcast with folks who love indie games, so we can get more of these game recommendations out there and support indie game devs. We also have our YouTube channel at youtube.com/nerdsloth, where you can catch us playing more indie games or check out our top 5 and top 10 series for even more indie game recommendations, because we believe there is an indie game out there for everyone.
Get ready!
Hey, let's keep talking about some more indie games that we've been playing this week. What do you want to talk about next?
Okay, the one I want to talk about that I'm actually excited about, that was...
You were not excited for anything else, just this one.
Well, I mean, the one that I primarily played outside of what you played was Vital Shell. This is a single-player, top-down arena shooter, like Horde Survivor type thing, but styled in a way that it's like PS1 visuals, so much so that
so cool.
There's even like a save slot that looks like an old PS1 memory card.
Yeah.
And so like it's completely leaning into that. Think of like, I don't know, Vampire Survivors or something, but all in a small arena. Maybe you could even say
with
like
mechs.
Rotato even. But yeah, with mechs. But you still have the same like sort of different weapon choices, things like that. You're not picking them up as you go, and you don't have like such an absurd amount that you're just covered in weapons. Yeah. But it feels like it has like a really nice kind of like mechanic to it of the runs being overall pretty fast. I think it takes like 20 to 30 minutes like per run, something like that, because there's 20 levels and each of the levels is like 1 to 2 minutes or something. And your job is just to survive as you kind of get these different buffs as you go through, or these different gems that you insert into weapons to power them up in different ways, like critical attack goes up, damage goes up, things like that. There are, I believe, 5 different mechs and 5 different zones. So it's not like a huge game, but it is a game that is really like, it's like a $5 or $6 game. And I think it's worth every penny because there's so much satisfaction I'm getting from playing this game as like a one of those I can just pick up, play around. I don't feel like I have to keep going with it. I can jump into something else if I want to, but this is a fun one to come back to because it's relatively simple, but it does get kind of harder as you get higher up in the ranks. It's not a completely zone out kind of game. So I'm still having fun with it. And you have like your dodge and things like that. So this is one that's absolutely like scratching that itch for me of, I've got to play be playing some kind of Horde Survivor game at all times, apparently. And this is just like this week's for me. And it seems like one that, because it's such like a small package, like a lot packed into a small package, that I could like easily see myself maybe 100%ing just because I don't think that would be that would take that long to do. And I'd feel totally good about that.
This is a game that I thought was going to be easier than it was. I'll say that. Man, It gets intense so fast. Like, I think it's because like the enemy movement speed is way quicker than I was prepared for. I did a run. I actually, unfortunately, did not live through the run. But I died at the boss of the end of my first run. And what sucks about it, too, is like a couple more hits and he would have been done. And I thought I was doing fine. Like, it was one of those things where, like, in this game, you see, like, those, the red spots form under you. And for a while, you can move out of the way pretty fast and then you're fine. But then, like, as you have like 20 waves you have to get through. Those are like, it's almost like 20 levels, essentially, until you face that boss on the 20th. They definitely build up as those, you progress through the levels and stuff. And I found myself all of a sudden without a lot of health. And I was like, wait, what happened to me? And then I realized, oh man, I am not getting out of that red fast enough. So like, then I'm like trying so hard to sprint out of there. And I thought I was going to have it. I started regenerating a whole bunch of health. I'm like, no, I got this. And then all of a sudden I was just dead. So I was like, dang, so close.
It can happen out of nowhere sometimes, but it does feel like, you know what, I should have dodged at the right time, or I shouldn't have let myself get overwhelmed by that many enemies, because they do gather up really fast, especially like once you get to level or like wave 10 and beyond. That's when they really start to just overwhelm you if you're not like ready with some kind of either like group clearing explosion thing, or you just have a lot of speed that you can actually dodge around things. So, and or just have enough defense to be able to tank a lot of that damage. So there's like various ways. It feels like it is under your control, but if you're not careful, you can get overwhelmed pretty quickly.
Yeah, which kind of reminded me of Shape of Dreams in that way. Where we were talking about like you can read the enemies pretty well, but like if you make that mistake, you're done for. So it's very much that kind of way.
Yeah, and that to me is of course super satisfying. I don't want a mindless game where all I'm doing is standing there and just like enemies are getting destroyed around me. I want to have to try. This is one where I have to try, not like the hardest game I've ever played or anything, but it's challenging enough to where it just scratches that itch for me. So yeah, big recommend on this one. Vital Shell. Yeah,
not like Vampire Survivors where I sent you that screenshot recently where the only thing you could see on the screen was numbers.
Yeah, it was like thousands. Like if I didn't know what it was already, I'd be like, what are you sending me? This looks like just a splash of paint with numbers all over it. Yeah, it's just like colors.
It was just nothing but numbers filling up my entire screen from all the damage. Man, it was
that
crazy.
One's gotten away from me. Like that's gone too far at this point. But there is that new Vampire Survivors one coming out that's like a different perspective that I am curious about.
And a deck builder
this year.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Exactly. Love deck builders.
Looking forward to that. I've got quite a few more I want to talk about, but I'll check in with you in a minute.
I haven't played anything else.
Oh, good. Okay,
week,
well,
so this is it.
Never mind. Hey, let me tell you about one that, you were disappointed by a game earlier. Let me talk about one I got a little disappointed in.
Okay.
This is Kejora. I was really looking forward to this one for quite a while. And the reason I think I'm let down by this is not because of any flaw of the game itself necessarily, but more along the lines of how this game was, I think, presented through Steam. So Kejora is a hand-drawn and what they say on the Steam page, puzzle platformer focusing on time loops and discovery. What you're doing is you're helping, Kejora's like this little girl in, I believe this takes place in like Indonesia. And so you're playing as her and her friends, uncovering why their very peaceful village keeps reliving the same day and what is causing that. And then in conjunction with that, there is some sort of like shadowy monster thing in the woods that is definitely tied to it. So the reason that I felt disappointed was because I was going in expecting, okay, yeah, puzzle platformer with time loops and stuff. This sounds really cool. First of all, the art of this is absolutely gorgeous. The setting, the environment, the feel is like on point. That stuff is 100% what I expected and what I wanted. It feels very much like a Studio Ghibli kind of film and presentation, which is what I thought we would get, and that is what they are giving you. The issue is the gameplay does not feel like a puzzle platformer to me in almost any sense. To me, this is a very, very light point and click game. And in fact, like I don't think, like I played through the demo, the full demo. I don't think there's really any platforming.
Really?
There was really like one instance, and that wasn't so much platforming as it was more of an interaction where one of the things in this game that you can do is, so you're mainly playing as Kejora, but you have these two friends, and you can essentially call one of those friends out to help do a very specific action. One of them can kind of throw stuff like a rock or something, like scare ducks away so you can like get through somewhere. The other one can punch things and then also give you like a boost up. So the only platforming really was calling that friend to give me a boost up to a ledge. And that was it. Like I wasn't jumping or climbing anything myself at any point, not once. So that's where I feel like the Steam page feels extremely misleading about what this game really is. It is much more of a point and click style adventure. And I would say,
which you like normally.
Yeah, which I normally really like. And I would say that the puzzle aspect also is very, very light as well. Maybe there will be more to it, but it was so handholdy. It was more of like, this guy needs something. Okay, well, I can tell that the one thing I need is going to be right over here. And then, okay, where's the next thing I need? Well, there's only like one other person to talk to. I'll go talk to them. Yep, they gave me the other thing I need. I can go right back to them. Problem solved. So it's like there wasn't much there. It was so spelled out for me. I feel like I didn't use a single ounce of my brain, which was very unsatisfying for me, especially from a genre perspective, because as you said, like this is my bread and butter. I love these kinds of games. So I think if I were to have been told that, not been said that this was a puzzle platformer, even if I was said or told that this wasn't a point and click, if I would have been just like shown this and said, here's an interactive fiction to play, then I would have been like, oh yeah, cool. And then I think I would have gone in and not felt any disappointment because I would be like, okay, yes, this feels like a little Studio Ghibli style film that I'm interacting with. And I'm really just seeing the characters through these different scenes. And then I think I would have had a totally different mindset. So I'm very interested to see more about this game because I want it to do well because I love the look, I love the feel, but just I think it left a little bit of a bitter taste in my mouth with how it was presented and kind of marketed, Yeah,
it's kind of a bummer because I know you like those types of games, and especially for one to be like advertised as a platformer with, art like this and with what seems like a cool story. It's kind of a bummer that that's sort of misleading as far as the actual gameplay goes.
And that's where I'm wondering is like, maybe is there more platforming later? And maybe they just really, really dropped the ball on the demo and didn't put any of the real meat and potatoes in the demo to begin with. I don't know. But it seems like that was like the first real chapter of the game. And there just wasn't much to it other than really, story, which is fine. I love story and I like this story, but it wasn't as advertised, it seemed. So
I guess I did play one other game, but it wasn't a game from this year at all, or even last year. This is a game from 2023. I played Backpack Hero for the first time.
I saw that you were playing that. Yeah.
Yeah. I picked it up because I was a big fan of Overlooting, a similar game that came out last year. Well, similar only in the sense that it's like about the gear you're putting on in your backpack or whatever. This one obviously has a much different feel to it. Backpack Hero, like you literally are organizing your backpack in such a way that it sets you up to be able to like more effectively fight your enemies. I know there's a story mode to it. I'm not interested in that as much. I like that there's a like quick play roguelike aspect of it too. That's what I'm going for. And so that's what I jumped into and really enjoyed like the possibilities there. A lot of it's like what angle you put a certain weapon at or something, or it's like, this power up this will power up weapons or add +1 or +2 damage to weapons if you put this orb next to a weapon, or this helmet will give you so much defense depending on how many cells are under it, and or these boots will put stuff on you based on how many empty cells there are above it, things like that. So there's a lot of like organization to it that makes it kind of an interesting, like a puzzly type, almost like a non-card deck builder of you're arranging your weapons, you're clicking on the weapons to make them attack. And I know there's a lot more to it that I have not even like delved into yet. Like there's some kind of magic aspect to it where it's like, okay, when you use this wand, it does some kind of mana thing and it needs like mana orbs around it or something. It's like, I have no idea what that's even talking about, so I'm not going to use that. But there's a lot to it that makes it seem like a really cool kind of like puzzle solving battler that seems really cool. It's turn-based, of course. So yeah, this is one, I know it's been out for a couple of years, but I never played it before, so it was new to me. So I just want to bring that up. So that is the other thing that I did actually play this week.
That's one that I would love to get into and play, because I'm fascinated by that type of gameplay style, especially after playing Overlooting. So
yeah, give it a shot. I think you'd like it. And it's one where I think you make some like really cool builds.
Plus it's cute.
Assuming like RNG is kind to you.
Yeah. It does remind me, there is a game that's coming out soon, but coming into early access, which is, we've done a few early access reviews before, but like we're generally these days trying to stay away from early access for the most part. So that's why you haven't heard us talk about them very often. But there's one that I do want to have on your radar specifically because I think that you would enjoy it. Just so maybe you get on your wish list and you check it out once it gets out of early access, which is called Turnbound. I may have mentioned this to you before, but it is kind of one of those a thing sort of like Backpack Hero, where you're collecting like these tiles and you have to like organize them a certain way, and doing that
you did tell me about that.
Yeah, it creates different synergies and stuff. It's an auto battler where you are doing all this stuff and setting everything up before you do the battle and everything. And it's like a PvP thing. So like somebody else might have something set up and you are trying to set your thing up, and then you let it run, and it's asynchronous. So it's not like you have to be in there at the same time. You just have your build set up and then you play it against somebody and see how it goes. And I think it just looks really cool. I've spoken to one of the developers before, and it just seems like a really fun game. And the studio is friends with us on TikTok. So I feel like I need to be like, okay, let's I'll throw a bone their way. So
yeah, early access aside, it does look cool and like something I would play. So maybe if it has a demo that comes out, I would try that. Oh, it does have a demo. Okay, yeah, let me try that.
Yep, it's got a demo. Yeah, I'd be interested to see what you think about it. They have really, really cool developer updates constantly. I think actually she's the one like speaking over the trailer and stuff. But she's on TikTok and she's constantly doing new updates and everything. It's very fun to follow, and watch her little updates and the development of everything, and also be very honest when they run into problems. Like she mentioned one time, like, hey, we were about to like launch this demo or something, and we did, and there was a gigantic, massive game-breaking bug. And we freaked out, and we got everyone on board and did everything we could to fix it as quick as we could. And we were able to do it like before almost anybody got the demo, because the demo was already live. But it's like, being very open and honest about that stuff. Like I really appreciate that about a studio. So
yeah, that's great.
It's very cool.
This is one I can appreciate that. And even though I don't usually play early access games, I would give this a shot because it seems like the team is devoted to making it a good game. So it's not going to be one that's just dropped off or ignored entirely once it goes into early access.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's cool. And it's one that I would love to try out as well. So
this is a tangent, but have you looked into the game Cozy Caravan at all?
So I've heard of it, but I don't really know much about it. But I do know that it came out recently, right?
It's out now. It's out today. Think Animal Crossing, like visually, but a little bit cuter. And the animation of it is like intentionally sort of like skipping a frame kind of deal. You know what I'm talking about? Where it almost looks like stop motion-y in the way that it's moving.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it's just like, it just looks super cute. I don't know like anything really about this game, but the early access alone like has very positive reviews. So it's one of those that is appealing to me. Would I enjoy it? I don't know, because it's like a cozy crafting game, but there might be enough there on the cuteness level to draw me to it. I just wanted to see if you had played it or anything, because it looks like something you'd enjoy too.
Oh yeah, it looks absolutely adorable. This really does look like something like a spiritual successor to something like Animal Crossing. What's funny is like you were usually so on the opposite end of the spectrum for stuff like this, that like I feel like when you see the word cozy, you usually run the other direction. But like this one, I think went so far into cozy that it came like full circle, and you're like, I gotta try it. It got so cozy that now it is back into Joseph's wheelhouse.
Like when you bring like chubby frogs into the equation, or like animal people in general, that's what really gets me. That's what can bring me right back on board.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see what you think of Grimshire in that case.
Grimshire.
I've talked about that one before. It's kind of like a like Stardew Valley, but with animals, but also death is imminent to this entire hamlet.
Oh yeah, I guess that's the grim part of it. And it's okay, yeah, it's pixel graphics too.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's very interesting. I've played it a little bit before. That was the one I was telling you before. I was playing I made a little bunny named Bunnicula because I gave him red eyes and everything.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's very
overwhelmingly
interesting.
positive apparently.
Yeah.
So
good
people
story.
are loving it.
Yeah, it's got a really good story to it for sure.
Cool.
Yeah, we are getting so far off of where we were. But hey,
I know,
man,
I'm so sorry. I just had to bring up cute games.
Yeah, no, we're letting that indie game ADHD take over for sure. I've got two more I want to talk about, but I'm gonna kind of latch on to something I said earlier. So when I was talking about how Kejora kind of like pivoted away from what I thought it was gonna be, and then just wasn't, what it promised. This game, Quarantine Zone: The Last Check, I also thought was going to be one thing, but ended up being like a billion more things. And I'm honestly having a really good time with it.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Did you show me this one? I don't know. I saw this one the other day. I just remember the hammering people as they come to the gate part.
So this is one where like, this is a zombie apocalypse simulator where you are managing the last checkpoint, like at this gate of like survivors and stuff like that. You were screening them and then trying to suss out like who is safe, like who is not infected and, is just goes to the survivor camp, who is maybe infected and needs to go to quarantine for further checkup later, and who is definitely infected, and you send them to a special zone and they are liquidated, essentially. I think it literally does say liquidated. So you're doing this thing in a very Paper Please-esque kind of simulation way where like there's just more and more things that just keep adding. You get more and more tools to do all this stuff, more things to look for as you go through. What I didn't expect at all, because I thought this was going to be the game, that and I knew you were going to be like balancing resources for the encampment where you were. What I didn't expect was doing that, and then all of a sudden, like an alarm going off, and it's like a zombie horde's attacking. Then all of a sudden, I'm piloting a drone with a machine gun outside of the wall and having to gun everybody, like all the zombies down and stuff like that. That I didn't see coming, which was pretty crazy, but not unfun. It was just very jarring. And then there's also scenes where like things can happen, especially if you screw up and you let infected into the survival thing. Like there is consequences of this stuff, man. If you let an infected into the survival place, like you are the last checkpoint, right? Like nobody's double checking your work. So if zombies start popping up within the encampment where you are, they're coming for you, bud. So then it turns into an FPS. So they'll come after you and you got to shoot them. So yeah.
So does it shift from like the survival, like checking people at the gate thing over to an FPS entirely, or is it a back and forth thing?
It's like a back and forth kind of thing.
Okay.
Like it'll be like an alarm thing goes off and then it kind of shifts you into like that different mode, especially with like the drone sort of thing.
Interesting.
It's just
Did you like it? Did you have fun?
I did have fun. It's kind of absurd in a way. It's just really darkly funny and humorous because of the choices that you're able to make. And some of the stuff people will say as like you're checking them out and stuff. I think this is going to be one that you're going to see a ton of streamers playing for sure. I got one more I want to mention real quick. This is Confidential Killings. This is one that like was exactly what I was hoping it would be, and it nailed it. This was developed by Brain and Lorenzo Boni, published by Surefire Games. This is a detective adventure where Hollywood is rocked by a string of murders. And as a sleuth, you must piece together clues, interrogate suspects, and unravel the conspiracy behind the killings. If anyone was bummed out after finishing all the DLCs for Rise of the Golden Idol and are just wanting more, this is 100% the thing that will fill the void left in your dark drip heart. You see my callback there that I did?
I know, you're dark dripping.
Hey, I'm dripping. It's almost the exact same style of gameplay where you are looking around the scene, clicking on words to add them to like your like index of words, your word pile. And then you are kind of figuring out who each person in the scene is, like assigning the names to those people. So you're figuring out who everyone is, and then also having to use those words to deduce what exactly happened. You know, why is this dead body here? Who killed them? In what manner? With what objects? For what reasons? All the good stuff that everyone loves about the Golden Idol series, especially me. And it doesn't disappoint. It's got really cool artwork too, like very comic book style. Feels very noir with this like 1970s style narco sort of vibe to it also. Really intriguing story. It's not very handholdy, and I love that. It also includes a section for notes, which I really love when detective games let you make your own notes. Makes it very, very handy. So definitely one that I will want to pick up for sure, and filled my the void in my dark drippy heart, as we mentioned, as we established that I now have and will probably need to get medicine for.
Yeah, you should see a doctor about that.
Yeah, I will.
All the dark dripping.
Yeah, so drippy.
Final round!
Let's do our lightning round of a few other indie games we want to talk about. What I wanted to talk about really quick, and we'll do this fast-ish because it is a lightning round. I want to talk about what are some of the indie games from 2025 that we did not get to play and we wish we did. So you kind of went way overshot and picked one from like 2 years ago with Backpack Hero. But like, What were some of the other ones that you were really looking forward to or just kind of slipped past you, but you really do still want to try to get onto when you can?
Okay, lightning round descriptions. I've got Pipistrello, the Cursed Yo-Yo.
Oh, hell yeah. Pipistrello.
Overwhelmingly positive reviews.
Yes.
I don't know why I overlooked this one. Like, I had known it was coming out, and then there must have just been a busy week or something, and I just skipped it. And because we do this podcast, I have to move on almost immediately to something else. So the new week came, and I just put this one behind me. So this, because I was looking over the other day, like, okay, what games came out this year? What didn't I play, et cetera, et cetera. And that was one I was like, oh yeah, this one looks so cool.
Yeah, you're going to love that one.
Yeah, it's like a top-down Metroidvania, like 2D pixel graphics, and you're just a bunny guy with a yo-yo as your main weapon. But it looks really interesting. Oh, you're a bat? I thought you were a bunny.
Yeah. No, you're a bat.
Oh, well, he looks like a bunny in the picture. Where are his wings? Give me something.
I think you're
Convince me he's a bat.
We're going to find this out. I'm pretty sure you're a bat.
You know, I believe you. I just want proof because I was reading it as a bunny.
Oh, he's a bat. He's a bat. Apparently, Pipistrello is literally the word bat in another language.
Oh, the lack of wings throws me off. The big ears.
But look at his ears.
It gives me bunny.
His ears almost look like wings.
Okay, but they're not wings. They're ears. All right, well, that aside, that's
so
just
cute.
Even more proof that I just did not play this game because I didn't even know he was a bat. And I want to play this game. I did pick this game up towards the end of the year, so it's one that I now have no excuse not to play. And I will play as this boy that I just found out was a bat, and I will enjoy my time with it.
Bat boy.
Another one is a Quartet. That one is a turn-based indie JRPG focused on like party combat with kind of that classic structure. This one, you know, there's been a few just like JRPGs or just RPGs that have come out that have looked really appealing to me, and I just haven't had time to play them. This is one that I really do want to put some attention to because it just looks really good. I feel like you might have played it and mentioned it to me. I don't remember exactly. Okay. Did you enjoy it?
I loved it. I think it's a fantastic game, and especially if you are someone that has nostalgia for like old Final Fantasy games, and I'm talking like pre-7,
Final Fantasy 6.
Yes, specifically 6. Then this is a game that you were going to absolutely love. I think it also really improves upon a whole lot of issues that older JRPGs have, especially with things like AP regeneration and stuff. Like, you don't have to be nearly as stingy with spells and things that like you're used to. Cause like, I know I was one of those people that would like not use my magic almost at all because I was just so paranoid that, you know, I would use too much and then I wouldn't have it when I needed it and then I would waste it. But this really fixes that to like the best possible way.
Games like this that I used to play, like Final Fantasy 6, like Breath of Fire, things like that, are the reason that I hoard health potions till I have like a stack of 99 because I'm afraid to use them. I need to save them for the boss. And then I end up ending the game with a stack of like 999 potions that I've never used and never needed. So games, it's the trauma from those games that have caused me to do that. So hopefully Quartet, jumping into that, will fix some of those things and maybe make me feel a little more comfortable using my magic and my potions and things like that too. Yeah,
I think actually, so I didn't put the full list down there yet, but I'm going to be making a video on this because we did polls. We did polls on our YouTube for like all these different genres and stuff for 2025, like the best games. I think Quartet is the one that won our community poll for favorite turn-based RPG of 2025.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. So
nice.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. It's a good game.
Another one. And I think it's because it's early access that I didn't play it now that I'm looking at this, but Into Evil, like INTO Evil, is one that is like a top-down Souls-like roguelike that I like the look of, and is one that I'd be interested in. I might still wait for it to come out of early access, but that's one I'm curious to try at least. There is a demo, so maybe I'll give that a shot.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing info about this game, and I just remember the top-down aspect of it, especially because of like the way the shadows move and stuff. I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah, I really like that kind of perspective where, and this was actually makes me think of when I was DMing a Star Wars RPG game in that same system. When you set up like blocks of things, it casts a shadow across the land so the players can't see that. And I like that and how it plays into especially like a dark fantasy Souls-like type game. Like it works really well with this because then like anything can jump out of those shadows if I'm not careful.
Yeah.
And it looks really fun to me. I don't know yet, but I want to try that out.
Yeah, that was totally bringing me back to when I was doing I was DMing the Real Play podcast for us when we did Party in Peril, and I would make the maps and just like that with the lighting and everything like that and how it moves around. So yeah, man. Oh, that just brought me back. This is a cool game. Okay.
Yeah. So those are like the main three. I'm sure there are others, but I can't play every game, unfortunately.
Well, you're going to have to try.
I'll do my best.
I've got a few. I think some of them, at least two of them, I think you might be interested. The first one is called Ooh.
Okay.
You know,
Is
you
it
don't
like
have to do it in that voice, I guess.
3 O's?
3 O's. The first O has umlauts. Fine.
Okay.
This is like Animal Well, but you're a caterpillar made of bombs, and it's got a fantastic soundtrack.
I love that idea. I don't know why.
Hey, man, if that doesn't sell you on it, I don't know what will.
It did sell me on it.
Hell yeah. It looks so cool, and it looks just so beautiful. It's got overwhelmingly positive reviews.
It's Ooh because Ooh is like a little caterpillar.
Yeah, it looks like the guy.
That's adorable.
How cool is that? Hey, and look, there's frogs, so
sold.
Made for
already
you.
Sold, but double sold.
There you go. I've got 4 more that I'll try to get through real quick. Without a Dawn, I bought it, haven't played it. It's a psychological horror visual novel with super cool ASCII art that looks incredibly creepy. Developed by the guy that made Distraint, which is an incredible horror game that I played several years ago. And I think I still have a Let's Play of it up on our YouTube. But it looks so creepy with like how everything's like animated and stuff in it. I can't wait to play it. And I'm going to have to play it like with all the lights off and just really zone into it to really get the feel.
I really like how the characters, like the letters and stuff, are making the images.
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
Yeah, it's really satisfying.
Yeah.
I don't remember what that's called, but it's like Matrixy in a way. There's a term for it, I think. But yeah, looks cool.
Yeah. Next one is Radiolight. From everything I've read, this is essentially Firewatch, but horror. And Firewatch being one of my favorite games of all time, I've got to play this one. It looks really creepy. You're essentially like, I think you're like a detective or something, like trying to figure something out. You're like in the woods. Something very, very bad is going on. And there's bad stuff afoot, like someone coming after you as well. And yeah, it just looks great. Very, very excited for that one.
Give me a little bit of PTSD of that Bigfoot game we played.
Oh my God.
Where I openly screamed.
It's literally just called Bigfoot.
He approached me.
The scaredest I have ever seen you playing a game was from Bigfoot.
That came out of nowhere.
The funniest,
so terrifying.
Funniest moment I think I've ever experienced gaming was when Bigfoot literally came into the trailer and killed you. Yeah, that was great. 2 more. So Spilled. This is a short, super chill and relaxing game where you're a little boat cleaning up pollution from the water. It was nominated for several awards, and honestly, it looks like it would be a perfect game for a relaxing day. Like, I figured that this is one that I'm going to have on my Steam Deck when either I am not feeling so hot or it's just a rainy day and I just want to, relax for a little bit on the couch or something. So very much looking forward to playing this one. And then the last one, this is one that I think you would be very interested in as well, because I think originally you told me about this and then it completely fell off my radar. So this is Kingdoms of the Dump.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, this super tongue-in-cheek kind of JRPG, literally developed by 2 janitors. I love that is like the actual lore of the developers. They are janitors.
That's so cool.
That makes it so much better. I remember you telling me about this a while back, and I was really interested in it, especially like with the music of it is fantastic. The look and feel of everything looks really good. Feels like, as ridiculous as it is, it really does feel like a classic Super Nintendo style JRPG. So I'm like really, really wanted to get into it.
Yeah.
But
that's going to go right up there with Quartet for
Heck
me,
yeah.
actually. I forgot about this one.
Yeah, well, it fell off my radar too until someone in our YouTube community, like literally just the other day, reminded me of it. So big thanks to Ish for bringing this one up. And I think he said, at the time we were talking about, I think he said he's in like the 3rd chapter or something, and he's loving it so far. So
good.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that. Seriously, anyone listening, if there are indie games that you want to get on our radars, or just if you want to tell us what you're playing, reach out, tell us, man, because we want to know. We want to know what's good so we can share it with everybody else.
Yeah, we like playing games.
We like playing, yeah, if you haven't noticed.
It's a game that's cool and you think we'd like it, please.
Absolutely.
Game over.
Hey, if you had a good time listening to this episode, stick around for the bumper to learn how you can help support this show and all the things we do here at Nerd Sloth Creative. You can also check the show notes for our link tree, which will take you to our social media, Discord, merch store, and tons of other cool stuff. But like I said before, get in touch with us. Let us know what you're playing and help us elevate these games so we can support these indie game devs that work so goddamn hard. They need all the love and support, right? So we can have another great year of indie games that maybe, just maybe, we can top 2025. That's a tall order, and me and Joseph are relatively short men. But maybe with your help, we can make up the size, and we will have a fantastic 2026. That's game over for us. My name's Chris.
I'm Joseph.
And we'll continue on the next episode.
Continue.
Indie Game Arcade is recorded and produced by Nerd Sloth Creative. If you're looking for more gaming content, head over to youtube.com/nerdsloth for indie game let's plays and recommendations. If you'd like to support the show, head over to patreon.com/nerdsloth, where you can select a pledge and receive access to hundreds of hours of bonus content from everything at Nerd Sloth Creative. If you're an indie game developer and would like us to review your game or explore other opportunities, send an email to nerdslothcreative@gmail.com with the subject line Indie Game Arcade. Thanks for listening, and keep supporting indie game devs.